Stephanie, this is Dr. Jester. I want to talk to you about your paper on Judaism. That would be for the portfolio assignment. First, let me commend you. The document actually looks really good. You start out with a good 3-sentence thesis statement that really describes what you're going to talk about, so that's excellent. Then it looks really great as far as the organization is concerned, and I think that's awesome. You've done a good job of using your sources wisely. One thing that I did want to point out, anytime that you have a quote, like look at number 9 and 10 here. When you have a quote back to back from the same exact source, the style guide is very specific on this. This is what you do on the second quotation. You place ibid. Ibid means it's from the same place. If it's the same book but a different page number, you put the different page number there. Anytime that you use a footnote then for that source, for instance, this one right here, you've already used it once. When you use it subsequent times, you use the shortened form of that. You're going to need to read your style guide to make sure you adhere to that, because you need to use the shortened form on subsequent quotations. Now, as I'm reading through the document, I started noticing you have a lot of quotes. For example, here you've got back-to-back quotes, and then I look down here, you've got another one. I start noticing a lot of quotes, and I go and look at the Turnitin score for this document. And when I come over here, 13%, that's not too bad. So then what do? I go and I look under the Turnitin report. And when I bring this up, you don't see this, but for me, something happens. When I bring this up, it not only gives me the Turnitin similarity score, which in your case is 13%, but I also get a warning if too much of the document is in quotations, meaning that you have too many quotes in your document. When I get a warning that tells me that more than 30% of the document is quoted material, I go over here and I check this filter. When I check that filter, it gives me the opportunity. Right now, the default is do not check quotes, but I deselect that so that it does check the percentage of quotes. When I do that, this is the number I get, which is 56% of your document is quoted material. What does that mean? In basic academic parlance, that just basically means that you're using the sources too much. When you use the sources that much, you're letting the source make your argument. You're not arguing it. They're doing it. So basically, you're saying a sentence, and then you're using a quote to make sure the argument is verified. Now, looking through your document. So nearly the whole first paragraph right here is all quoted material. You get to the second one, you have some more quotes. You get to the next one. Let me get on down here if I can get my machine to operate correctly. See all of those highlighted items. That's all quoted material. That's not you. What's the problem now? Here, as you're closing, then you start getting your own words. The problem is originality. 20% of your document can be quoted material. 20%. You're exceedingly above that. You're almost 2 times more than that. So 56%. So over half of your document comes from quoted materials. You're never supposed to get above 20%. Typically between 20 and 30%, I give a warning. If it's over 30%, it calls for a revision. In your case, you're going to have to significantly revise the document. Now, you did a great job, made some great arguments, but the point is you're letting the source make your own argument. These are all the places where you're quoting from. So, how do you rectify that? How do you solve the problem? Well, you're basically going to have to revise this considerably. There are 2 ways to do that. You can read through the document and determine what you need and don't need and eliminate unnecessary quotes. Second, you can go ahead and revise by summarizing the source. And what that means, for example, I cannot come up here and say, as a summary, that it is argued that Abrahamic ecumenism offers Judaism, Christendom, and Islam. I'm continuing the quote there and then substitute my own words for the rest of it. What you're going to have to do is summarize the whole thing. A summary means that you know what they're talking about, but you're not using their words. You're using your own words to describe their point of view. That's what you're going to have to do here. This is going to have to be really close to 20% on your revision, otherwise it will be unacceptable. There is only one revision allowed per assignment. There is a 10% penalty on the assignment for the revision. So you're going to have to make sure you get this right. It may mean that you have to do some rewriting and use more of your own words in these areas. Okay? If you have any questions about this, please do feel free to let me know, and I'll do my best to help you. But the main thing is you're going to have to not use so many quotes in this document. All right? Blessings on you.